Hey, Bruce, you didn't have much going in the first period. Did anything need to be said after that period, or did the Rangers hits get you guys into it?
No, we had listen, some things were addressed. I didn't like the way we're playing again in terms of offense, being easy to play against, turning down shot opportunities. And that's what I mean by easy to play against. Not shooting the puck when the opportunity's there so that people know to get to the net. When it goes low to high, D not, finding their shooting lane or hitting the net or being in a position to keep pucks alive, come around the boards. Just some things that happened to us early in the year that you'd hope you'd be a little farther down the road. So we discussed that and reminded them, hey, this is how we tend to be a good offensive team 5-on-5. All of a sudden we'll get on the power play if we start rebounding pucks, playing off the original shot. And I think the second period, first shift, we threw one at the net. It started from there. It hung around the front of the net. We went to the net. Then the orneriness begins. And I think that's when we're at our best. We're perfectly comfortable in those games. And it got a little bit physical. And all of a sudden now our guys are engaged in the game offensively and physically. And we typically are defensively. So now all of a sudden you got all phases humming. And I think that's when I don't know if took over the game is the right way to put it, but that's when I thought we certainly put our best foot forward and became the better team.
Fluto, go ahead.
Bruce, Brandon, and Kevin are out there, not just at the end, but also when Charlie and Jeremy are in the box. How did you like the way that they defended?
Well, I rarely, Fluto, have issue with Kevin and Brandon's defending. It's their go-to, it's their calling card. Brandon, we're trying to build other parts of his game, puck movement, transition. Kevin, for the most part, we know we're getting there. Just I think this year we're just hoping for good health, and we've gotten that. So not a lot of worries about Kevin, to be honest with you. We know what he is. We know what he brings. So I love the way they defended, and that PK at the end was a classic example of them working really hard to keep the puck out of their net just by being smart and being strong. And we killed a whole minute or whatever it was, 40 seconds almost along the boards. And then Marshy's smart with a stick, keeps them from getting set up. So it was a great job. You don't know what's going to happen 6-on-4. There's plenty of time, a minute, draw on your own end. So we get the draw down, which was great. That always kills part of it, but those guys were excellent at the end. I thought our whole D really got better as the game went on. I thought Losey played a hard game. Charlie, listen, he's been real solid from day one. I thought Zaboro played harder. There's always going to be a few mistakes, a pinch here or there you don't like, but in terms of just competing, that's what we wanted, and we got it.
Joe Haggerty.
Yeah, Nick Ritchie's obviously done a lot of damage, Butchie, on the power play offensively. How good was it to see him chip in 5-on-5 tonight?
Well, listen, we need it. We're going through one of those stretches here a little bit where we're having a tough time finishing some of those plays. So we need it from up and down the lineup. Bergey's line didn't have as much 5-on-5 action, I thought, tonight as maybe they typically do. So credit to the Rangers there. So someone else has to step up. And, tonight it happened to be, that line was around the net. The other night it was DeBrusk, obviously, with a lot of action. I thought they got away from what they did the other night by not shooting as much, specifically Charlie Coyle. I thought he turned down a number of chances to get it to the net. So we'll keep harping on that, but Ritchie didn't, right? His play, he drives it, puts it on his bat, puts the guy in his hip and throws it at the net. And that's a pretty simple play. And then follows it up. Smitty was right there too, to bang it in. So I guess that's what I'm getting at from, I think, Steve's question. That's where you're harder to play against offensively. That first shot's probably not going in, especially in this league. You see some of the saves that Shesterkin made and Yarrow in the first period, second period, I guess, on pucks they see goalies. But when they're forced to control rebounds, deal with traffic, sort some things out, that's when you start to get some goals. And we just have to understand that as a group that every night it has to be our mentality. So that's where Ritchie was good tonight, where we needed that goal.
And what was the reason for the 10-minute misconduct on Lausanne?
He said he continued the altercation on the ice. I thought that was a very marginal call. To be honest with you, it looked like both of them were kind of squirming away down there, but that was what I was told. And I don't know who made it, if it was a ref or the linesman, to be honest with you.
Matt Porter.
Bruce, Yarrow sometimes can struggle with his rebound control. Tonight, I think one of the sites I'm looking at has him for two rebound chances for the Rangers. Is that something you saw from him tonight, the rebound in control?
Yeah, well, first of all, for a coach, rebounds, when you think of it on the surface, are a good thing. It means he made the original save, right? So right away, you're like, you're good with it. Now, okay, where are we putting them, and where are we to do we have more numbers than them? Is it an easy one to control, a hard one? So, yeah, I think you're always been steady and solid all year, especially on the first shot. Yeah, sometimes some pucks squirt off them, and sometimes that's when you don't play a lot. That's one of the things I think you lose. But I thought he was real good tonight. I don't remember a lot of rebounds, honestly, coming back out that were, you sort of scratch your head and say, he's got to have that one. So I'm sure there might've been one or two in the mix. I think the Rangers did a good job with that Wednesday against Tuca. Got some good looks by going to the net, hanging around the net. I think it's one thing they do well once they do get in there. But I don't remember much. So I assume, when I watch it tomorrow, Yarrow, that part of the game will be good.
Yeah, and then for Frederick, he was talking a lot to Lemieux, very much engaged in that battle. Kind of maybe seemed like they were going to go again. As a coach, do you have to kind of rein him in a little bit in those type of situations to make sure he has his head on the play rather than on the fight?
No. Listen, if that club's in his bag, Freddie so far has shown real good discipline. I don't think he's taken a penalty, has he, all year, other than fights? I don't think he's been taking a minor penalty to put us. So he clearly knows that, he's played within the rules. So, no, I don't. If he became out of control and, you see a guy who's, eyes are at the back of his head going, then yeah, you're going to have to talk him off back into the game, so to speak. But Freddie hasn't shown that part of it where he's snapped, I guess, and lost focus in the game. He's got, like a lot of young guys, routes that we remind him of, and some different things that he needs to do to get better every night. And we're going to work with him. But that other part of it, he seems to have a really good sense of when to engage with the opponent. He's done it twice now, and I thought today got jumped a little bit early on, but found himself. So good for him. And I think it helped generate some energy for us again.